Jennings stars with stunning 318. Somerset posted an impressive 446 in their first innings at Southport and Birkdale, led by Lewis Goldsworthy's maiden 100, but Luke Wells and Keaton Jennings had responded well, their opening stand unbeaten on 164 at the end of the second day, the former just one away from his ton, and it didn't take long for Wells to go to his 100, up to the mark with a bit of fortune, the edge from Siddle streaking through the slip cordon for 4. With their partnership a massive 186, Jack Brooks finally made the breakthrough for Somerset. Wells out, well taken by Stephen Davis behind the stumps, departing for 109. But Lancashire shrugged it off. Josh Bohannon now with Keaton Jennings in the middle, and the pair struck up an effective partnership with little to trouble them. Jennings would join Wells on 100, slower to the mark, but the opener had another big score to his name, a productive season continuing for the former and probably aspiring England international. The flat surface offered little to the bowlers in the remainder of the session. Lancashire headed in on 271 for 1, now just 175 behind with 9 wickets in hand. And the pattern of play continued after the break, Somerset's bowlers charging, skipping and twirling their way in, but to no avail. Josh Bohannon taking full advantage of a pitch full of runs to move to 50 off 101 balls. Jennings would continue to pile on the runs, up to 150 soon enough, as Somerset continued to struggle to separate the second wicket partners. Soon enough, the deficit was down into double figures, and for all the plaudits earned by Somerset for their first innings effort, Lancashire looked set to at the very least match it now. After Wells and Jennings had shared a 186-run partnership, Bohannon and Jennings went even better, theirs worth 200 runs, and the score was now touching 400. Bohannon eventually fell for 91, Roelof van der Merwe sneaking one through his defences to deny the number 3 what would have been a deserved ton. Jennings closed in on 200, which he brought up with a single. He'd had to be patient, but got to the double ton for the second time this summer. Lancashire were now just 25 behind. And when they strolled off for tea, they were 1 run in the lead. Jennings still there, unbeaten on 215. They'd moved that lead to 9 runs when Croft departed for 25, outlifting a catch to Brooks off the bowling of van der Merwe after he and Jennings had put on 50 for the third wicket. Villas followed, bowled by van der Merwe for 7. Jones joined Jennings in the middle, but he didn't have to do a lot. The opener was in scintillating touch and wasn't satisfied with his 200. He wanted more and took Lancashire beyond 500 in the process. And with a slapped pull shot through the leg side off the bowling of Goldsworthy, he went to a maiden 250, a sublime innings that kept going from strength to strength. It was another mammoth partnership, Jennings streaking his way towards 300 now, Lancashire over 100 runs in the lead, and the duo almost to 3 figures for the 5th wicket. Jones fell for 38, out-caught by Amar Verdi off the bowling of Matt Renshaw. He'd have to watch on as Jennings had a magical moment he'll never forget. Up to 300, a truly sensational, chanceless knock from the Lancashire opener, who was writing his name in the history books. It had been quite something to behold. If he was to get any further and work his way up the club's top score rankings, he'd need someone to stay with him. Balderson out for 1, another taken by Verdi off Renshaw. Wood wasn't the man to stick around, down the track to van der Merwe and bowled by the spinner for 3. Bailey would fall to Matt Renshaw, out LBW for 4. They moved easily beyond 600 before the close of play, which came about when Jennings' almost 10-hour stay in the middle was finally brought to an end. Van der Merwe with the wicket, Siddle with the catch, and the opener's innings over on 318. He'd been the undoubted star on a wonderful day for Lancashire and Keaton Jennings, but while it had been a colossal innings worth all of the praise it'll no doubt earn, it probably won't count for very much, with a draw looking the most likely outcome. Lancashire, though, will still hope that a few wickets in the morning of the final day, they may set the cat amongst the pigeons, though. Don't rule out a result.